Recorded Books presents Don't Go, Stories of Segregation and How to Disrupt It by Tonika Lewis Johnson and Maria Creason. Narrated by Kevin R. Free, Lynette R. Freeman, Cindy K., Nan McNamara, Rob Morera, Marisol Ramirez, Jonathan Todd Ross, Jasmine Walker, Tonika Lewis Johnson, and Maria Creason.
Acknowledgements. Don't Go was viewed by some as too much of a downer title for what is our book's inherently optimistic message, and so we express our gratitude with a similar juxtaposition: negatively disguised positivity. No project without our storytellers. 25 complete strangers were willing to go along with us on this ride. Destination unknown. And we said as much when we started each Zoom call with the person who emailed foldedmapthoughts with their stories. None of it would have been possible but for the kindness, generosity, humor, and commitment of the Chicagoans, lifelong and transplants alike, who shared their stories. To you all, we appreciate and respect each one of you for letting us tell your story so that others may be as inspired, informed, and impacted as we were. No financial wherewithal without UIC and CCT. The University of Illinois Chicago gave us a Creative Activity Award grant and the flexibility to pivot and morph the project during a global pandemic. And the Chicago Community Trust's long-standing support of Tonika and the Folded Map Project kept us moving forward. No test run without Block Club Chicago. Editors Dawn Rhodes and Jen Sabella helped us turn our raw interviews into newspaper-style stories, published them, and hosted a public event. The response assured us that these stories needed to be shared. No stories without Mary Gustafson. Mary was our loudest and most reliable cheerleader during the long process from interview data to sociological reflections to engaging stories. She helped transform academic writing into creative, read accessible, writing and penned beautiful Tonika, Maria, and Tonika plus Maria stories. No book without Jonathan Scarrett. It was a long and circuitous route that brought us to pitch, in keeping with the project over a Zoom call, this academic plus artist book project to Jonathan at Polity Press, and he got it immediately and embraced it. He has wowed both the artist and the academic. That has to be hard, right? With his skill, enthusiasm, and vision, and his ability to encourage, nudge, and shed light on the process every step of the way. No supporting materials, expert advice, and early readers' reactors without Team Don't Go. The roster includes Mary Schmeek, Joshua To'oto, Sarah Rothschild, Janelle Nelson, and Michelle Harris. No foundation without our families. Our photographer dads, Tony Lewis, Jim Creason, artistic moms, Rita Lewis, Carol Creason, and our respective put us in our place and who we do it all for children, Nija, Kayel, and Katerina. No fun without our friendship, a friendship born out of disrupting segregation.
What This Book is About, narrated by Tonika Lewis Johnson.
It doesn't take a trained psychologist to diagnose the root cause of the Don't Go warning. Fear. So yes, this is a book about fear. It also doesn't take a trained sociologist to tell us that fear is complicated. But what happens when it's an artist who poses the question? An artist who is from a place people are told not to go. An artist who is all about making segregation personal and about taking a simple question and unpacking it to reveal the humanity and the larger story. This book is what happens when that artist teams up with a social psychologist to talk to regular people about what is a seemingly mundane bit of advice dispensed with great regularity. Not just in Chicago and its South Side, but in cities all over the country where there is segregation. And there's a lot of places like that. Don't go. This book is about fear. Fear of being hurt, like shot or killed, it turns out. Fear of being embarrassed. Fear of being uncomfortable. It's about how this fear hurts people directly. When friends aren't allowed to come over and play. When stores and opportunities disappear. When people are prevented from connecting with each other. It's about who instills fear in others and you. And it's about who has the privilege of being afraid and the toll your fears have on others. This is also a book about the defaults. It's about the exaggerations and invisibility that are the stuff of defaults. It's about how the defaults hurt others and you. It's about being curious enough to unlearn the defaults. This is a book about conversations and connections, about the connections we miss because of segregation, about the conversations we don't have because we miss the connections, or because we're afraid. About the conversations we do have that can nudge new connections, and about the people who are curious enough to have them. This is a book about being in the wrong place at the wrong time, and about putting ourselves in the right place. This is a book about how actions can change the default, break the barricades, expose and move past the fear. This is a book about the ripple effect of mundane warnings and the butterfly effect of little nudges. This is a book about apathy, sympathy, and empathy. This is a book about saviors, tourists, defenders, messengers, ambassadors, and accomplices.
Tonika's story, narrated by Lynette R. Freeman. For as long as I can remember, I have been surrounded by art and artists. If you walked through my home when I was a little girl, you'd see my mom writing a script, my grandma singing and playing piano, my uncles working on paintings, and me smiling in front of my dad's ever-present camera. Art was normalized as a career choice in my family. All I had to do was pick my medium. Even after my parents divorced when I was a toddler, I still lived in my grandma's two-flat with my mom, my grandma, and my uncles, all in the same building. A typical day in my childhood included laughing with my favorite uncle, hugs from my grandma, and riding a bike to the corner store with my friends. My dad lived nearby, and I still saw him and his camera frequently. I still have a scar on my face from when my best friend Raymond and I tried to climb up a tree on one of our neighborhood adventures, and I fell on a gate. I grew up in Englewood, a neighborhood on the south side of Chicago. According to the census, Englewood's population consisted of 48,244 black residents and 190 white residents in 1990. Multi-generational living was the rule in my neighborhood. Books and magazines were constant companions. I attended Englewood's Gershwin Elementary School in first grade.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.